Hi, my name is Summer Fugere, and I'm a student at the University of Texas at Austin, studying speech, language, and hearing sciences. I would like to share my knowledge about right hemisphere brain damage and everything that I've learned. So, if you haven't heard about right hemisphere brain damage, RHD, or would like to learn more about it, this video will give you a glimpse into what it is, the impacts it can have, and how to help and communicate with those with right hemisphere brain damage. This video provides a lot of information, so you may want to pause or change the speed of the video. To change the speed, click the settings button, playback speed, and choose your speed. So, what is right hemisphere brain damage? Well, it's exactly how it sounds. It's damage to the right side of the brain. The most common cause of RHD is a stroke. However, it can also be caused by brain trauma, brain disease, infection, toxicity, and seizures. A stroke causes reduced or no oxygen to a part of the brain. If you would like to learn more about strokes, you can go to this link. It is important to note that each person with right hemisphere brain damage will experience a different combination of deficits. RHD can affect many different areas. The areas of impact I will discuss are related to cognition and pragmatics. The first area of impact I will discuss is cognition, which refers to the process of thinking. RHD can impact specific areas of cognition, including attention, neglect, and executive function. RHD can negatively impact attention. It can cause a shorter attention span or make it harder to stay focused. Additionally, loud or busy environments can be overstimulating for people with RHD. Someone with RHD may struggle with neglect. Neglect is the inability to attend to an input. 3 types of neglect are personal, peripersonal, and extrapersonal neglect. Personal neglect in RHD is the inability to perceive the left side of the body. This can be seen as not using their left side and not realizing that they have a left side of their body. Another type of neglect is peripersonal neglect. Peripersonal neglect is the inability to attend to the left side of an environment that is within an arm's length. Someone with peripersonal neglect may only read the right half of a page or notice only the right side of a picture. Take this picture, for example. Someone with right hemisphere brain damage may see something like this instead. This is called visual unilateral neglect. They may only be able to see the right side of the picture, which can cause them to not attend to the left side within an arm's distance. The last type of neglect I will discuss is extrapersonal neglect. Extrapersonal neglect caused by RHD is the inability to attend to the left side of the environment that is beyond an arm's length away. For example, imagine the woman cooking has extrapersonal neglect. She may not realize her phone is ringing because it's beyond an arm's length away on her left side. RHD can also affect executive function. RHD may cause difficulty in planning and organizing tasks. It may be difficult to plan the next step or recognize the structure of a task. Visual daily schedules or steps can help with organization and planning. People with RHD may also have difficulty identifying and solving problems. Imagine you are running low on your daily medicine. You would identify that as a problem and then try to solve the problem, likely by calling your pharmacist for a refill. However, someone with RHD may have difficulty recognizing that a medicine bottle running low is an issue. They may also have difficulty solving problems even if they recognize something is a problem. RHD can also cause prosopagnosia. Prosopagnosia causes difficulty identifying people. Imagine your mom is walking by. If you have prosopagnosia, you may not be able to recognize her face. However, someone with prosopagnosia may be able to identify a person based off their clothing, their hair, or their voice, depending on their visual processing abilities. People with RHD can also have difficulty with pragmatics. The RightHemisphere.org provides a lot of information about the impacts of RHD. They define pragmatics as the abilities that can change a communication style based on the environment or the person that you're talking to. Included in pragmatics are facial expressions, word choices, intonation, social rules, and body language. Impacts to pragmatics can cause difficulty with understanding and expressing the meaning of a message. This is called apragmatism. Someone with RHD may have difficulty understanding facial expressions. They may not be able to interpret someone's emotions based solely off of visual information. Additionally, they may struggle with creating facial expressions themselves and may appear to be of flat affect, which means little emotion is shown on their face. If someone with RHD is not able to outwardly express their emotions on their face, that does not mean that they don't feel emotions. They feel emotions just as anyone else would. They just may not be able to express it on their face. RHD may also cause someone to have a monotone voice. This is because they may not be able to identify the differences in intonation of speech. This is called aprosodia. In typical communication, we make a lot of inferences to understand a conversation. For example, the woman to the left says that she doesn't want sushi, wine, or cheese. These are all things that are known to be potentially harmful for pregnant women. Therefore, her two friends would likely question if she was pregnant. However, someone with right hemisphere brain damage may not make the inference that their friend might be pregnant. People with RHD may struggle with social roles. Someone with RHD may have difficulty changing how they word a sentence depending on the communication partner or environment. Additionally, they may have difficulty with knowing how long to speak for, giving others the opportunity to talk, interrupting, or having tangential speech. Tangential speech occurs when someone deviates from the original topic of a conversation and discusses something unrelated. This is commonly known as going on a tangent. Additionally, they may not recognize their deficits. This is a condition called anosognosia and can range from being completely unaware of all deficits to someone being aware of a few of their deficits but not others. Since we have discussed the impacts of RHD, I now want to give you tips to help increase communication effectiveness. People with RHD may have difficulty determining an underlying meaning if it requires a lot of inferencing or sarcasm. Therefore, you can check for understanding. If it was a joke, you could ask if they understood why that was funny. If you said something that was implied or a metaphor, you could ask if that made sense. If they have difficulty understanding, explain why something is a joke or what you implied. You do not need to stop implying things or using sarcasm. You may just need to explain what you meant. Someone's facial expression or intonation can change the meaning of a message. If a person with RHD has difficulty with inferencing or understanding facial expressions, they may not receive the intended meaning. For example, the girl sitting in the chair looks sad but said she had a good day. If the person to the right has RHD that impacts their inferencing or understanding of facial expressions, they may not realize the girl is sad. Therefore, it may be helpful to verbally share what emotions you are feeling with someone who has difficulty understanding facial expressions. If this girl said she was sad, then the person with RHD has a better understanding of the child's intended meaning. Additionally, if someone with RHD has difficulty expressing their emotions, it can be beneficial to ask them how they're feeling. Talking about one topic at a time is good for communication ease and focus during a conversation. People with RHD may have difficulty understanding and using turn-taking in conversation. So as the communication partner, you may have to gently interrupt, or you could raise your hand to let them know if you would like to speak. Some environments may feel overstimulating for people with RHD. Try to avoid environments that feel overstimulating for them, or make changes to them to help them feel comfortable. Additionally, try to have conversations in quiet and minimally distracting environments. As this video comes to an end, I want to give a special thanks to Melissa Johnson and Catherine Peach for advising me in editing this video. Together, they run an in-person and virtual RHD support group. You can find more information through this link. Throughout this video, there were likely a lot of terms that were new for you. To look through this glossary, you can pause the video at each of the 3 sections. If you want to learn more about RHD, you can go to righthemisphere.org or asha.org under Right Hemisphere Brain Damage. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.